Slipjoint here. In today's knife therapy, I have the Jack Wolf Knives Benny's Clip. This knife comes in 4 different variations. You can get it in 2 different carbon fibers. The one you see here in this blue Arctic Storm fat carbon, absolutely beautiful material. You can also get it in camo carbon. Both of those are going to run you $299. Or you can get it in 2 different micarta variations, a black canvas micarta and an OD green canvas micarta. Both of those are going to come in at $275. I'll pop up the specs on the screen now. This knife will be dropping today, 9/16/2022 at 2 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Pacific Time. I will say right off the bat that this is my favorite Jack Wolf Knives model to date. My all-time favorite design, if you've been watching the channel long, has been the Landy's Clip Point. So this is my first true Landy's Clip that I've owned, and it's something that I've been fascinated with for over 35 years. When I got into collecting, or got fascinated into knives back whenever I had my buck 55, the clip point just drew me in, and that's what I thought about when I thought about a knife. So obviously this one was bumped up to favorite status rather quickly, and then once I carried it and used it, it just grew from there. They come with these beautiful leather sheaths, slip sheaths that I think are hand stitched. They're very nice. I don't tend to carry them in the slips. I've been carrying it in this little slip from Tuya, some slip joint I had, just because I like to be able to clip it to my pocket, and it fits perfect for it. All right, now let's take a closer look at this jaw-dropping clip point blade here. You have a nice belt satin finish grind there. You have a stone wash flats on this knife. Beautiful swedge that tapers down all the way to the tip. However, your tip is not too acute. You could do some tip work up there without having to really worry about it. You do have a sharpening tool that clears that plunge line just by a little bit, but it does clear it. You have a nail nick on this side of the knife, not on this side, but I too prefer to just pinch the knife open. I find it to be way easier for me and doesn't destroy my nails. You have a deep saber hollow grind on this knife that comes down to a nice thin edge to around about 12 thousandths behind the edge, sharpened at 26 degrees per side. Now it's time to see how well it performs. Right away, I got hung up in that choil area a couple of times until I started realizing where it was at. Knife came pretty sharp out of box. However, I would have loved that if they would have brought the secondary edge bevel down to like 20 degrees at the least. 18 to 17 would be way better slicing. I was able to make super fine curls rather easily. I didn't notice any hot spots. However, being that the handle is so thin, like on most slip joints, my hands and forearms got fatigued rather quickly in the saber grip and the hammer grip once I started putting a lot more pressure into the wood. I find that the single bladed slip joints are great for making those fine feather sticks rather quickly and then move on to something else, unless you're holding the wood with the same hand as a knife, doing those draw cuts, blade towards you, doing like detailed cutting. The handle is just too thin, in my opinion, just to do a lot of long cutting like that. Doing drag cuts with the belly on a flat surface will be an absolute breeze. Pretty much any slicing motion cuts will be super easy to do. Once again though, I would have loved to see that factory edge around 18 degrees per side. I mean, it's not a hard use knife, it's a slip joint, and I think it would really excel through pretty much all these tasks way better, and you'd get a lot more out of that edge. That's something that I can do myself after the testing. I like to show how I get it out of box. It passes through most of the material great because of how thin it is behind the edge. It has a great deep hollow grind on it. But with materials such as the denim that you'll see here in a minute, it kind of struggles because it's got a thick edge bevel. It doesn't have as much bite anymore because that obtuse edge has kind of worn down some. And it really struggles toward the end of this right here. You'll see me having to make several cuts, and I'm using a lot more force into the denim. I had noticed at the end of that denim that, like I said, I'd lost most of the bite, and as soon as I started cutting into this 1/2-inch twisted style rope, I could definitely feel I had to use a lot more downward force. And like I said, once again, this thinner edge bevel, secondary edge bevel would make this cutting a lot easier. Any of those abrasive materials, you want that extra bite to it, and that thinner edge will get through it a lot quicker. I did end up making 31 cuts through the sisal rope, which is not shabby at all. I think I could have got through a lot more. I think for now on, though, I'm gonna cut a certain length of rope and make that many cuts, and that's where I'm gonna stop it because it's just tearing up my hands way too bad. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that cutting footage. I enjoyed making it for y'all. Now let's take a look at the action of the knife. Being this is a slip joint, there will be no deployment except for open and close in it, but I think y'all call it the walk and talk. It's got a very nice positive halfway stop right there. Flush in all three positions, open, close, and middle. And a nice positive pop at the end. Love that sound. Another addictive open and close sound that my wife loves that I do. Yeah, right. But love it. Very nice and positive. I showed this knife to 2 other slip joint aficionados and 2 non-slip joint guys, and they all absolutely loved it. The slip joint aficionados loved the pull, the walk and talk on it. I think it's perfect because I can still pinch open it. If I can't really pinch open it, I tend not to carry them as much. The open and close, just the fluid motion of it opening and closing is very smooth. I'm pretty sure they ride on phosphor bronze washers, and the degree of build quality on these things are off the charts. Let's close it up and take a look at the stunning covers on here. Like I said, these are the blue Arctic Storm fat carbon scales. They are nicely contoured. You have a dark blasted bolster with the fluted ends on them. The fitment are absolutely seamless. When I close my eyes, the only thing I can tell is the difference in feeling of the blasted feeling to the smooth texture of the carbon fiber. Just like every Jack Wolf knife, these things are hafted. Just means that they are finished once the knife is put together, so they're absolutely seamless. You cannot feel any high spots, low spots. Very tight fitment, beautiful fitment as well. These things have a very high degree of fit and finish. Absolutely beautiful. You have a beautiful T10 pivot there, T8 on the cover screws. Very nice, crisp, perfect depth on those. Definitely not a knife I'm going to be taking apart, but all right, now let's get a quick weight. First off in grams, 87.2 grams and 3.07 ounces. And if you throw the sheath in there, 3.62 ounces. So not bad at all. I rarely noticed it was on the pocket. I'm pretty sure this is the largest Jack Wolf knife model to date, but let's do some quick size comparisons to find out. First up, we have the Jack Wolf Midnight Jack and the K9 Jack. It's definitely larger by a little bit than both of those. Next up, we have the GEC Heartland clip and the Lion Steel round head. The Heartland clip was the closest I've had to a Lanny's, and the Benny's clip's a little bit longer just by a hair. You have definitely more handle in the Benny's clip. It's definitely longer than the round head. Lastly, we have the Benchmade Proper and the Victorinox Pioneer X. It's longer than both of those, closer to the Proper. All right, now for my nitpicks and complaints. I really don't have much. The only thing I can really say is that I would love to see them put these secondary bevels a little thinner. The secondary bevel is at 26 degrees per side. For a slip joint, I would have loved to see it between 17 and 18 degrees. It just slices so much better. It's not a hard use knife. They're made for slicing, and it's something that I'll do right after the review. I would just love to see that already from factory, but not the biggest deal, like I said, because you could do it yourself. So overall value on the knife. You know, I get it. It's a premium knife. They're small batch, and I do realize that almost $300 for this variation and $275 is a whole lot of money. But this is something that should last you for a lifetime and then last for your kids. I get a lot of people that say, "Oh, but my line steel knife has the same materials and it's X amount cheaper." So recently, I sharpened this one up and put a screaming sharp edge on this one, M390, and I used the factory edge on this one. It blew this one away in performance. Absolutely blew it away. So, and not to mention all these crowned areas right here, they do that so they don't have to try to get it perfect. You can allow more degree of slop in certain areas, so you don't have things that meet up properly right there. So they just put a little crowning right there, unlike this one where it's seamless. So it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're just looking for a slip joint to use, you know, once in a blue moon and just pull it out and, you know, just to fidget with, then yeah, maybe this is, you know, all you need. But if you're looking for something that has a super high degree of fitment with a premium blade steel, that's the, you know, biggest difference between this one and this one for me is this is in 1095, and this one definitely holds an edge better than this one. They have about, you know, the same degree of fitment, except this one's a modern traditional. This one's a traditional. It's pinned using, you know, the 1095. This one's using a super steel. So they both have their merits, and they're both excellent in their own right. What I love about this one is it's USA made. So, you know, it all depends on what you're looking for. I think if you decide to pick up the Benny's clip, you will be absolutely ecstatic with it, especially if you love clip points or Lanny's clip points. So for me, I absolutely love it. It's been in the pocket a whole lot lately. It dethroned the K9 jack, but this one will go back and forth. These three are my go-to carries. This one is more like, you know, gonna probably be my dress carry if I'm going out somewhere nice. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the algorithm some. If not, that's cool. You can put a thumbs down also, whatever you want to do. And I hope everybody's having an awesome day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.